The heavens are waiting. The day that Willow turned into a tree was the day that I learned how to fly. The woods were a sanctuary, calm and enveloping, like they were always calling me in closer into their arms, where I might have just disappeared. I think sometimes I wanted to. It would be nice to get lost in there, to let their roots nourish me and their leaves brush against my cheeks when my mind betrayed my heart and desired something beyond those branches. They would whisper promises of safety there, and I wanted so badly to believe them. I knew the woods like I knew the map of my veins, that pulsing life of nature that I could not dare to defy. I would wander them for hours, tapping the mossy bark to hear the soft echo of her call, telling me everything would be all right. She was alive. No matter what anyone tells me, I know that those woods were alive. I had wandered them for years, but every time I went, I'd find another tree where there had just been a patch of dirt only the day before. She was growing, thriving, and with her, I thought that maybe I'd also have a chance. I longed for her energy, to take the confidence of her branches to stabilize my spine, to stop the trembling that defined my bones. Willow got what I wanted. Lucky her. I don't know why they chose her. We both learned to fly together, but I meant it more. I wanted it with every inch of my bones, aching for the comfort of a moss blanket to finally let them rest. But they chose her. Willow and I had roamed the woods since we first learned how to walk. We did it together, naming every new emerging tree, and deeming ourselves rulers of the forest. They had always taught us things, sometimes small, sometimes earth-shattering to our young minds. But it was a school of our own, freely chosen, freely living. That was, until they taught us how to fly. Willow and I sat under the big Bertha, the oldest tree of the forest, and we closed our eyes to listen to her song. And Willow shot up with this gentle kind of light in her eyes and said, "Don't you hear it?" I told her of course I did, because I didn't think it would be fair for the trees to speak to her and not to me. But I didn't hear anything out of the ordinary. We could finally fly away. I didn't know what she meant by it at the time, but it sounded appealing. Sitting there in my dirty jeans that exposed my ankles and half of my calves, and feeling the rising rumbling of my stomach, I knew that a way would be better than this. "Okay," I answered, and she took me by the hand with a small smile as she guided me up the tree. And in that moment, as she led me up to freedom, I could no longer deny the bursting love within me that I felt for her. Mama would have slapped me over the head for thinking of another girl that way, but in that moment there was no mama, no pain, no hunger. It was just me, Willow, the trees, and the pulsing love that tied us together in that interwoven body. I still go back to see her every day. They finally accepted her there. A tree quickly shot up where her small body had fallen, all disjointed and limbs branching out to take every inch of the dirt they could. Her eyes were closed so gently in their slumber that I wanted to shout at her and wake her up because it wasn't fair. She got to sleep, but I was still there, alert on that tree branch just watching. I go to her tree every day, and I sit next to her, and I pray that she will let me join her. That someday I will close my eyes, and I will finally find peace.